compelled to adhere to certain practices. But as a rights activist, I believe, and as a representative of state, it is our duty and obligation to actually draw a line, the minimum standards. That what should be the minimum standards, which is a red line which should never be crossed. And the red lines have been provided by my constitution. It's a document, all Pakistani actually feel pride in that. Our constitution provides for fundamental rights like all other civilized societies. Article 4 talks about due process of law. We call it, our superior courts in many judgments said that it's the heart of the constitution. Constitution is a living document, and Article 4 of heart of the constitution. And Article 4 says that no person shall be, every person shall be dealt in accordance with law, and no action shall be taken except in accordance with law, detrimental to his life, liberty, honor, dignity, reputation. So it covers many areas. My constitution not only protects the rights of the citizens, but it also protects the rights of all persons living in Pakistan, belonging to any religious, ethnic, linguistic community, including the foreigners, including the minorities. Article 25 says that there shall be no discrimination on these scores. Article 9, Article 10A, Article 14 ensure the dignity of person, inviolability of the privacy of the life, and as well as the right of fair trial, which has been considered to be and acknowledged as a fundamental right in the Constitution. So I believe that whenever we talk about the human rights, the minimum standard, the red line is the framework given by the Constitution of Pakistan. And when we say it's enshrined in the Constitution of Pakistan, it means it is the duty of the state of Pakistan to ensure and implement. And I can state it with certainty and pride that in this journey, not only the state functionaries, the governments, they have been trying to adhere to Constitution, but whenever they violated, and which is also quite common everywhere in the world, that the laws are made for the purpose that people have to follow the laws, but wherever there is violation of any right or any obligation, there is a mechanism provided under the law. And for that mechanism, we look towards the state functionaries, and if the oppression is actually originated from the state, it has to be adjudicated by the courts. And here comes the catch actually. For a deliberated judgments, that practices, those practices were it's just 1990. Students was on the criminal side was revisited, I would say, when the Supreme Court of Pakistan shifted the policy of sentencing and laid down a certain criteria for inflicting the maximum penalty of death. Our laws provide for death penalty in certain offenses, including the offenses against human body, the terrorism offenses, or many others. But Supreme Court of Pakistan in 2008 handed down a judgment, a very celebrated judgment, where the Supreme Court said that, well, there are two options before the courts of law, either to inflict death penalty or to go for life imprisonment in cases which are serious or grievous in nature, like the intentional murders or sabotage or terrorism. The previous practice of the courts, or I would say the jurisprudence, was that the normal penalty, this is in vogue since the colonial times, and this was because of the colonial might, they wanted to maintain their power in the area. It was first time when Supreme Court of Pakistan held that no, two options are there, but we have to read in the Constitution in all the laws, because Constitution is the supreme law. Constitution says that the right to life is the most fundamental right, inviolable in nature. It's the most cherished and most cherished right under the Constitution. So we have to keep those principles laid down in the Constitution in mind while implementing the sentencing policy in the serious offences. So Supreme Court of Pakistan then held that for court, the first option should be life imprisonment or the lesser penalties. And only in the rare, and I would say nowadays, the rarest cases, we should opt for the extreme penalty. And they also narrated certain category of cases, like the serious cases of terrorism or gruesome murders with allegations, or the proven facts prove that multiple murders took place, the rape cases with murder, the robberies with murders. But even then, if we go through the statistics, 2007, 2008 up till now, if we go through the data collected by different organizations, and I once again appreciate JPP that they did this exercise in 2015-16, it has come down to nearly 2% by the end of the day, where the courts opted for the extreme penalty of death in extreme serious cases or the grievous nature of offenses, which I believe is a great achievement. Practically, there is the moratorium imposed by the government. There are very few occasions. There had been a slight shift after the reign of terrorism in the north of Pakistan caused by Afghan war. We have been facing the effects of Afghan war for nearly 30 years. But after 2016 or 17, Sarah, if I'm right, they again practically imposed moratorium. Coming back to today's topic, I won't take much time. Once again reiterating and reconfirming the government's resolve that Government of Pakistan is committed to follow and to adhere to all its international commitments, and more so, it's not because of our international commitments, it's because of our constitution, which actually mandates that it is the responsibility of the state, it's the responsibility of the executive arm of which is the government, to ensure that persons living in Pakistan are dealt with in accordance with law, their rights have to be respected, and whenever violated, the courts of law in Pakistan have always jealously guarded those rights. Once again, thank you very much, JPP, Sarah and your team. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for providing us this platform to come, sit together, and I hope that the suggestions which would be formulated at the end of the day would be shared by JPP with us, and rest assured that you are always most welcome whenever you come with positive suggestions. Thank you once again.